Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Friday, the 9th of August. I have taken a couple of trades this morning, as you can see. Well, this morning, it's early afternoon here in the UK. But just on one of my accounts, that's 250 account, and I'll explain these two. I wanted to try and trade this one on what I feel is going to happen, my gut feeling. In other words, what I like the look of, not necessarily a perfect setup. So Akitri, how you doing, bud? Karina, how are you? Ionis, how are you? So this one here, so to me, we're going sideways here. We had a breakout here, couldn't get higher and pushed the EMA strong. K3, how you doing, bud? What I liked is we had a lovely measured leg down, 2 legs down. So for me, there's bound to be some longs in there. Now, I wouldn't take that because this is looking rangy. So when that pushed up and broke below, I thought that's going to come down and stop that out. What I'm trying to think about is if I took that trade, would I expect it to lose? The answer is yes, because we're coming sideways. So as that finished there, I took that just for 4 points, and that worked beautifully because it's ranging. Now this one here, we got a channel here with a break. For sure, there's going to be shorts in there. Now, would I take that as a short? 2 reasons. No. 1, it's congested. 2, it's too far from the EMA. 3, this range, we've touched here a couple of times. We've pushed up and we've bounced once, twice, and obviously this 3 times now. So the answer is I think that's going to get stopped out. So I got in there and put my stop 1 tick above there, and that was going to get. So I'm kind of going on what I feel as opposed to having a strict set of rules, because I see so many things happening that I'm pretty sure are going to happen, but I don't do nothing about it. But I don't want to trade like that with all my accounts. So I just wanted to. So I'm done on that account. What I'm trying to do is find a couple of trades on that. And I've hit about $1,000 there 3 days in a row. So that's coming up nice. I'm trading 3 contracts, and just going for a few more points. I'm only trading 3. I normally trade 5, but that ATR is a little high. So, okay, the market is open. So I have trading 1 contract, 12 ticks at the moment. ATR is just too high, really. So let's have a look. 2 legs up. 1 attempt to go higher. Let's have a look at this. Speedy, how you doing, bud? Any lag on rhythmic? Not for me, mate. Sometimes we do when it opens a little bit, but mine's showing okay at the moment. ATR's still up, but it's better. That's interesting, isn't it? That's a risky trade there. We're going a bit sideways here, I think. We could come down and try and retest this. Yeah, I think that's likely going to push up. There's probably going to be some stops above there. So just trying to look on my other charts. Yeah, so that signal bar there didn't look fantastic, but on my other 2 charts, it looked really good, which is another reason why I took it on this chart. It was more about what does it look like anywhere else. Just a bit risky. I don't like these wicks up here. It's probably going to work up, I think. We'll see. Another reason I like that as well is because we go inside, we get a break out the top, and we often do get a break out at the bottom, but I like the way it came down and pushed strong straight back. So it was actually a second entry long that, and it was a failure as well. So it had 2 good things going for it, and guaranteed you're going to trap shorts there. I would not take that as a short there. 1, you got 4 bars stacking up. 2, it's way too far for the EMA. It doesn't look far, but in terms of trading, it's about 1.5 points, which is just way too far. But on these 2 charts, we had 2 nice bullish bars there that look good. There may be some shorts trapped there, and same here. a really nice failure bullish bar there, so that's going to push up. So I'm just trying to use my sort of gut instinct and a bit of experience and seeing if I can't sort of find a few setups that are slightly more riskier, but there may be more of them. But I'm looking mainly to trap traders. I took that not as a trade so much, more as a trap, because that for me, we've talked before. Sometimes when you get a downtrend and you get a bullish bar and a downtrend, usually it crosses over and comes back down. It's a slightly wide for the type of channel I like to see that, but it often does. That's exactly what it does. But the fact is that there's two nice legs there for me is going to trap traders all day long there, and that is as well. I wasn't interested in pushing right up. I just wanted to get. I put my stop one tick above there. Take profit, because if it broke above there, it's going to have a little pop or two. Not as much as I thought, but it definitely had a little bit of a push up. So once it broke above there, not much, but it clearly pushed up then. So I'm just going to widen this a bit. I think that's the correct place for that. Touch, 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 with a break and a new high. So this is where we find out if there's something larger here, which there may be. Too early yet. So I'm going to bring this down a bit now, I think. Is this a trading range? That's what I'm looking at it as. Thomas Wade is as well. He's got it as a trading range as anybody else. So it looks sideways to me. 2 legs down, 2 legs up, 2 legs down. So that's what it looks like to me. It's clearly going sideways. So, but it's one of those things really, isn't it? Obviously a lot of our trading will be involved in these smaller moves, not so much a big one, but yeah. I mean, I traded that in a channel down, but for a trap, and I traded that in a push up and a retest. I had this like that at the time, which I kind of like. In fact, I may leave that there, I think. Because there's more touches there. We've got a couple there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. So I like that just at the moment until if we bounce off here, the same height, and then come down, I'll extend it. But we've only really had a breakout there and a breakout here. The rest of the touches really are more around about there. So break, new high. So a little leg down. So in fact, you could actually put that like that. I think that's a bit better personally. We've got a touch there, touch there, touch, 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 touch. I don't think we've had a break there the way that's acting. Because we're touching so nice at the top. Thomas Wade's got it as a break there. I don't think it is. And the reason I don't think it is, I think that absolutely fits perfectly. Perfect 2 touches there. In fact, it sits right between those bars there. And when we've had this and a push up, looking for a new high, and we touch, let's have a look. I can extend that a bit. So just look there. Touch, touch, perfect touch, perfect touch, perfect touch, perfect touch. And nice at the top as well in 3 places. So I like that. We're obviously losing momentum. We're not getting to the top here, are we? So I'd expect a break, and that's it, I think. So leg back with a break and a new low, and then a push up to a new high. So whether we'll have another test before we push up, who knows? But yeah, I think that's one channel to me. It looks a nice fit. And when we usually don't get up the top on this third push, usually that leads to a break, which we've had. Yeah, it looks better, doesn't it? Thomas is it just doesn't really make much sense to me, that the break there, because we've got a break at a new high, so it doesn't fit at the top there. See, so but that looks nice. It fits perfectly along that bottom. It keeps moving slightly whenever this moves. It keeps moving, but I just like the way that stem there, the wick, 1, 2, 3 perfect wick touches. And look at the top there as well, fits really nice. So, and that makes sense. Break, break, retest, and up, new low. Sorry, little channel with a break, new low by a tick, and then up. So, if this thing continues on up, maybe there may be a larger channel, and I don't think at the moment that looks that bad. So, I'm just going to kill the colour. Just leave that there as an area of interest. Who have I missed? Jonathan, how you doing, bud? Jay, how are you? Have I said anything about anybody else? I think I have. I think it's Friday. These weeks are flying, really. Can't believe it doesn't seem like it's a minute from Monday, and then all of a sudden we're on Friday again. So got some nice weather in the UK today and tomorrow. Makes a change. It's been about the worst summer I can remember for a while. How's crypto doing? Not too bad. Oh, it's had a bit of a drop. It went up to, oh, okay. So it's over, Bitcoin's over 60,000 at the moment. It did go up to 62. It went up to 60, just over 62. We're on a little bit of a pullback. That's not too bad. XRP is having a pullback now. That went up about 25%. I was very tempted to buy some of it, but the trouble is, once it's already had that move, it's kind of useless, isn't it? And I'm glad I did, actually, because it went up to about 64 cents. It's 56 cents now, so no point in chasing things when they've already happened. Wow, CRO's up 22% today. That's quite a move, that is. Render up a bit. I got some render. Gala down 5%. Hey, what's going on there? Ah, there you go. He's just put it back. That makes much sense. That's a break. 2 legs back and up. Yeah, makes much sense, that. So I'm going to get rid of this larger channel just for the time being, because we've just pushed straight through it. So we've had a channel with a break and a push up to a new high. We've just got up to the open. We've pushed above it and come back to it, and we're having another couple legs. So whether we have a retest or not before it pushes up, Yeah, I think lag may have something to do with internet speed as well. I'm quite lucky here at the moment. I got 1 gigabit, so it flies. I think my upload and download speed are about 970 megabits, so I have a nice quick speed here. So whether that has anything to do with the lag, sometimes, in fact, mine rarely goes red now. Once in a blue moon, it'll go orange, but sometimes if we just get a little bit of volatility, maybe they open. What could happen? So we've had this big push down, this big push up, and we do seem to be going a little bit sideways. Although this sideways move is going from, there's about 50 points in it. So as far as our range goes, it's not a bad one. Certainly the wider the range or the deeper the range, you have got that little bit more to play with. A bit more room to maneuver. So channel, break, new low, whether that's a break and a new low, one of them. Bounce, bounce. So we're retesting this area, I think. So 1, 2, 3. Potentially a triple test there. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Very tempting. Just want to give it a little bit of time in case it's planning on going lower. As high as the 8R is lately with a 4-tick profit like Mac. Take you like 5 winning trades to get back. Yeah. I don't even bother with the points. I mean, at the end of the day, with the ATR high, you can go for more points. It just means the average bar is bigger. So if your single bar is bigger, so will the next bar that's going to give you your profit. So, you know, I would say if you're going for, I tend to go for 2 points. But the ATR is probably double what it normally is at the moment, which is why I'm going for a little bit more. I went for 3 1/4 there. I just wanted to get out on that bar, and I went for 4 there. So I think, you know, I would certainly be looking at, I've got mine set at 12 ticks at the moment. But, you know, if the bars are bigger, your profit bars are bigger, exactly the same as your, what's it? 4 ticks, even bad trade to win. Yeah. I haven't gone for 4 ticks for about 2 years. You need to be one hell of a skilled trader to make some good money trading 4 ticks. I mean, I worked out once about 98% of my trades, or of the trades I saw other traders marking, were making well over 2 points. So it was a no-brainer for me. If you go from a point to 2 point, you're doubling your profit straight away. So even if it only works 1 in every 4 trades, it's still worth doing. But I would say, realistically, 2 or 3, maybe 5% of the time, you're going to go, it's going to make over 2 points. So it's crazy going for a point, in my opinion. And it is just my opinion. I mean, if you're taking a point now and the average bar's 4 points, it's crazy. I think you've got to get at least 80%, about 82, 83% with commissions just to break even. No, it's just not worth it. See, Mac used to teach going for a point, but that's when you could get with a tick above and tick below the signal bar. That's when you could get it under 2 points every time. If you look back on his videos, sometimes I see him giving 2 or 3 extra ticks and a tick above the signal bar, and it was still only 1.75. But there's a lot more volatility now. These bars are bigger, so it's like anything. You know, if your prices go up, you have to put your profits up. So I'm just sitting tight here, just in case this thing decides to go down. There's always the possibility we've got a leg and maybe a couple of legs up and then it's coming down some more, but I'm just sitting tight here. You may think, oh yeah, nice and bearish, let's go down, but then it could just trigger and push up. We've bounced here once before and again, and 1, 2, 3 times there. A triple test, yeah. I just don't want to go short at the moment because of this. I mean, we go once, twice, 3 times. You're going to trap some longs there. But with this there, I just don't want to go short at the moment because we're right down to this lows. It may go further. I just don't know. We've also got 1, 2 triple tests there. So we've got 2 in both directions. So this thing could tease in some shorts here. There's going to be a few short stops there. Maybe there, certainly there, maybe there. But this thing does look like it. Sometimes it's very easy to go, oh, yeah, we're trapping shorts, we're going to push up. But at the moment, price is coming down, so... Spike on the channel, yeah. So, is this thing going down? There's a possible failure there, but at the moment, I'm just not taking a short. Because there's also a range going on here, I think. Although it's starting to look more bearish. see if I could take that down to there. That could very much be the bottom, I think. It's hard to say, really. Did Max say a spike in a channel there are low probabilities if it makes a new extreme before reversing? Okay, so as a low probability of making a new extreme, yeah. I mean, for me, this is finding support here and finding support here, so it'd be interesting to see if it stops that out. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. It's hard to say at the moment. Yeah, we've had this big push down and we've had a channel up with the break and we've only sort of got up to the open and now we're coming down again. So it's hard to say whether this thing's going to have a leg down, but I certainly won't be taking a short here. I think that's more likely a trap the way that's pushing up. It's already taken out some liquidity there. There'll be some there and there. So it kind of looks like it may be bottoming there. So it may still come down and have a go, but usually that first push, it takes that out, doesn't it? And then maybe like a double, there could be a double trap there. High or low stops out that bar there and becomes a target itself. I'm not sure, but it's, at the moment, I'm thinking range at the moment. So there's a double trap there, I think. So if you went short there, trigger just stopped you out. If you went long there thinking, yeah, we're going up, you're triggered so far. So I'm just staying out of this at the moment until it like figure out exactly what's going on. In fact, I may, ATR's coming down. I don't think it'll be long now before it's normal. We may even get under 3 today. I may go back and do another 12 months with Mac, actually. Sometimes I liked it. It's always good to go back over the basics. But I did a year initially, then I had 6 months off, then I did another year, and that finished at Christmas. So I don't think it's a bad idea to go back over the basics, because it's surprising. You know, you might watch something again and again and again, and all of a sudden you watch it maybe a third or a fourth time, and yet something just triggers something and it sticks in your mind, or something you might have missed. So I think it's always good to go over the basics. So looking on here, this chart up here, and probably this one, this looks a bit better. There is a channel with a break, a new high and a lower high. Now this will either come down or it will trigger that and push up, one of the two. Well, obviously it'll either go up or down. But my assumptions are at the moment that I'm thinking range, but we've come from here, we've got up this time. If we start to break below this, then I'm thinking more, then there may be something more of a downtrend going on there. But it is a bit early at the moment. Straight Lines Tattoo, how you doing, bud? Morning, everyone. Lance, you got any trades today, brother? 2 on this 250 account. I can't trade the others. I've got the others set, so I can't trade them to 2:30 UK time. So, but I'm just trying to trade this one slightly different, more on feel. I paid Mac for New Year. I'm not using the forum much, Mac, but deserves it for the work he does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, $125 a year. I feel like I'm robbing him, to be honest with you. It's so cheap. I don't think I would challenge anyone to find some sort of trading system out there for as little as $125 a month, let alone a year. But yeah, he's one of the good guys. Mac is. I consider myself as very fortunate to have come across him. So there is a lower high here on there as well. So we've had a channel break, new high. In fact, there's a failure there. It's a lower high here. But my issue is going short into this. Now, it could start to look bearish. So it may come down, but it might not. It kind of seems like it's struggling. We've come down and pushed up. There's a come down and pushed up again. There's a few wicks there. So for me, this is a little bit unclear and probably a little bit too dangerous to short. Yeah, exactly. I was just as I was driving putting a little range there. So yeah, I mean, it may come down and it may not. So the simple answer is just leave it alone. Might take profit. Oh, okay, it's all right. Thomas Wade's taking 12 ticks as well. I think that's a good choice actually with that ATR higher. But they are coming down slowly. It's taken a few days, isn't it? I think by Monday, hopefully, we may get somewhere closer to normal. Yeah, I am aware that may be something. Trouble is, it's so wide at the moment. Now, if this thing carries on down again, then, you know, once this thing... The thing is, when it's short like that, it doesn't work. The longer it gets, the more it kind of works. So there is a possibility that that's the case. We are kind of ranging, but in a large area at the moment. So we've gone up, down, down, up, and quite lightly down. So we're really sort of zigzagging, aren't we? Zigzagging up and down. But we need to get below this area really, which I think it's probably likely. What I'm thinking is we've pushed up. So it may even be there actually. No, maybe not. Let's just leave it there for now. So there's a good possibility, but there could also be two legs down and buying off here at the moment because it's kind of sideways. So there's a couple of things it might be, but until we get some sort of clarification, we're pushing lower. It's just you know, keep it in the back of the mind. You're done, are you? Good on you, mate. It's Friday. I'm keeping my profit. Yeah, you too, bud. Always nice to go green on the weekend, on a Friday. Just, it does make your weekend better, I think. It's less on your mind. You can kind of go away and forget about it. But yeah, you have a good weekend, bud. So look at that. We've come close to this and then we've pushed up again. So I can adjust this ever so slightly if I need to. And that would work. So let's see what happens here. You can't just take that, I don't think. You could say it's a triple test, but you know, the ones work better when they've pushed above and closed below, but I'm giving that one the benefit of the doubt that it may be working along that level down, but it's too early to trade it just out of pure belief that it's going to do that. what I like about it, on this chart, we've had 2 legs up, leg up, 2 legs back, leg up. So it'd be interesting to see whether this comes down here or not, whether it stops that out. Yeah, it has done. So just for now, I'm going to bin that. See how high this gets. So leg and a leg could be a failed breakout. It's not one of my strongest skills, so I'm staying out of this. But I like the fact that it is a second entry short as well. But we've bounced along here lots of times, so this could push up higher. What I will say is it is reacting to that line, but I still think it's risky just to well, there you go. Triggered and stopped you out. You can't just do it, I don't think, unless you know what's going on. It looks like someone else is getting some lag issues. Just can't think about going along at the moment because we've had a bounce here at the open and we've had a bounce again. This range could go from this level to this level, so going long here is something I'm not interested in at the moment. Okay, so break here, be nice. We've got an area we could bounce off here. I mean, we are bouncing off that midline at the moment, so that might be why we're struggling a little bit. Getting a little bit stacked up here. Bouncing off that midline of this range. For just about 700 a month, how many accounts should I trade? When you say 700 a month, what do you mean exactly? That's what you want to make or pay or what? You want to make 700 a month? Do you know what I tend to avoid doing, and I think it's a good idea, to not try and think about how much you want to make. You know, my experience tells me, and the things I've read and seen, having a monetary target a month makes trading much more difficult. You know, I've heard people tell me over the last few years, don't think about the money, think about the trade, and then the money will come. If you set yourself a monetary target and try and aim for it, you can set yourself up for fail, bud. Maybe later on down the line if you're experienced, but, you know, years and that. But I think a monetary target is the wrong way to look at it, personally. I would just focus on, I know we all trade because we want to make good money. It's true. But trying to aim for a monetary target, you can only take what the market gives you. And the trouble is, if you've set yourself a target, targets are areas where you try your hardest to get there. And that is the worst thing to do in trading, really, to try your hardest to make money. You have to just focus on the setups and forget the money. And if you get the setups right and focus on the trading, the money will just follow. Back to reverse, how much can you afford to lose? Yeah. What I would say, look, the best way to think about it is I would not start really putting any money into it until you can hold an account. If you can keep a PA account for longer than 30 days, then I would say maybe get 2 or 3. I wouldn't go for a lot. It's creeping up. If you go for too much, it puts too much pressure on you, and that's when you can get into a little bit of bother. So I think people have the wrong idea of trading, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm speaking out of experience because I have. I've thought too much about money, and when you think about trying to make money when you're under a lot of pressure to perform, thinking about having a monetary target is only going to go against you. I mean, $700 isn't difficult to make. If you can trade, it's easy. But that's if you can trade. So I don't know whether you've been trading 6 months or 6 years. But just focus on buying yourself winning trades, taking trades that are winning, focus on your discipline and all this. Get all that right, and the money will automatically just come. It can't not. So I would just focus on trying to do the best job you can, because we all focus too much on the money, and all it does is it slows your progress down. I don't want to sort of come over in a negative way that you shouldn't think about money, because we all do. I don't know how many times I've sat here and think, if I can get this a month, if I can get that a month. But I kind of say it in a bit tongue-in-cheek. If I can get up to that, I'll be chuffed to bits, rather than having a sort of monetary target. But I have in the past. I've taken trades to try and get to a payout because I wanted that money. And I've taken riskier trades. So if you try and put money aside and focus on the trading, you'll progress and get there a lot quicker, I believe. So a leg and a leg. So you can either look at this as a channel with a break and a new high. Technically, we'd already had a break and a new high there, which is why I didn't get involved in that. Because we've had a little break here and a new high. Especially when we're bouncing off that midline. But market's got other ideas. So I was thinking more bearish, but it is more just of a range, really. So I'm going to bend that just for the minute. So we've got a channel with a break, 2 legs back, 2 pushes up to a new high. So our level of support is up here. Matt told me it's important you don't trade with target. Just focus on the learning and good trades. Absolutely. Open a small account with a trade. Learn to win. Yeah. The trouble is everyone wants to run before they can walk. And when I say everyone, I mean me. I don't know how many times I've just thought about money, trying to get there as quick as I can. And after a while, you start to realize it just doesn't work. It's not a fast money-making scheme, this. When you can trade, then, yeah, you can make some really good money. And there are ways of doing it with prop firms. But prop firms can be just as bad as they are good. So for newer traders, prop firms can be lethal. But for experienced traders, they're a gold mine. But yeah, I would say, you know, just get I would sort of maybe take an evaluation. The thing is, when I first started trading this, I paid £1,000, which is about, I don't know, $1,275 for a license, because I couldn't trade with NinjaTrader and have this automated trade thing that I've got now. I had to do it manually. So if you pay Apex $30 a month for an evaluation, you also get a free license where you do get it. So $30 a month will cost you $360 a year. So that's 4 years worth of trading for the price I paid of a license. So, you know, if you want to have a go at something, then yeah, but try and make it, don't think about getting it to payment level. Just use it as a tool to try and build. And just let them charge you monthly if you want to pay $30 a month. But just get your evaluation. It's not important about how many contracts. Stick to one contract or stick to micros. But the important part is to try and build it. And that's the key. Making a bit of money here there is easy. Making consistent money is difficult. Because you have to be on the ball and on your game, you know, every day. And I'm realising this myself sometimes. Sometimes I'll have a bad day and thinking, yeah, I haven't been on my game today. But that's a good point Corinne is making. Just, I'd buy an evaluation if you want. Just get one. When you're learning and you're blowing them up, never get more than one, because you're just throwing away loads of money. Get one, trade either minis or micros, but keep it small. If you trade micros, you're not really going to blow it. And then at the end of the month, it's renewed anyway, even if you did. And then just focus on trying to grow it. That's the key, trying to grow it. But if you're constantly putting money in and blowing evaluations, you can have a lot more frustration. And that causes you to blow more accounts. So it's a wild ride you don't really want to be on if you can help it. You know, learn from people who've done stupid things like me. You know, I created this learning experience for a lot tougher ride than I really needed to, because I thought I knew it all. You know, I thought, yeah, I can do it, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, 15 years ago, I paid more than $100,000 on education. Wow. There was a UK company, Win Investing. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I don't doubt there's people who paid a lot of money over the years, but yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So when you think about the measly amount Mac charges us, you know, wow, yeah, crikey. It's a lot of money, isn't it? And the trouble is, if people have got the money, they'll pay it because they think they can make a ton of money. You're welcome, Mark. Anytime, bud. Really? Wow. Yeah. All I would say is get yourself an evaluation instead of paying for your license, because you pay $1,000, or I paid £1,000, because for the first 2 weeks you can use this ATM strategy, but you need it really. It's all part of the process. But after that, you can't, unless you're trading your own money and paying higher. You can pay a monthly rate. It's not worth it. Just pay Apex $30 and you've got an evaluation, so you've got a little taste. But don't treat them as a way of trying to get lucky to get a PA account, because if you don't know how to trade, as soon as you get a PA account, you're gonna lose it, and it's just going to cost you more money. So just concentrate on trying to grow something small. That's the key. It's not amount, it's about growth, consistent growth. And you will get there if you stick at it. But don't try and run before you can walk, because you'll fall on your face. And I know my face is scarred from the inside. But yeah, one evaluation at a time. If you can hold PAs, then sure, go for more. But if you're copy trading, there's no point.
Order submitted.
There is a failure with a trap here. See how this pans out. It's a bit stacked up for me.
Order canceled.
Just one at a time, because if you're copy trading 5, you're going to blow 5 at a time. Channel break new high. So I'm not focusing on what I'm doing here. So we've had 2 legs, so we've got a leg down, 2 attempts higher. So I think this is likely going to come down now. There is a bit of support there, which is kind of bouncing off the underside. And I kind of like that.
Order submitted.
No, forget it. It's
Order
just too
canceled.
congested. I do like the fact we got support here and here, and we've pushed strongly below the EMA and come back up, but it's just too congested there. It's not any better on my other chart, so I'm just going to sit this one out. Is there a larger channel there? Maybe. But if there is, there's an overshoot. So it never triggered anyway, and it just stacked up. But there'll be liquidity there for sure. So if we get a leg down, I think there's a good chance we're going to get down below here. But at the moment, it's just stacking up. Second entry long didn't fail yet. No. Oof, 21 ticks in it. It's easy to get chopped up at the moment. So leg and a leg down and a leg down. I think it's likely to go down. We have trapped some longs there, and that came down, stopped them out, but then pushed straight back up. there'll be liquidity down here for sure, so I expect this to push down. Maybe not on this first push, but leg and a leg, leg and a leg. Haven't been here for a long time. Great to see how your mindset has matured towards trading with patience and discipline. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It takes time, but I think it's an inevitable with time. You know, I used to feel nervous as hell. I used to have butterflies in my stomach. I was kind of excited and nervous, and you know, it was almost like I was about to walk into a boxing ring. But with time, you do get used to it and you start to settle. And when that does happen, you tend to have a little bit more time to think. Because when you're all nervous and you're all edgy, it's very easy to jump into a trade. I still do it from time to time, but not like I used to. Just looking at this, there's kind of a little bit, what's it there, isn't there? So we've had a push down, and it's kind of like a breakout pullback, but it's come back into the channel, isn't it? I was kind of hoping that was going to trigger this and then come down some more. Someone's taken a trade here. Where are they out? Where do they get in? About here. Leg down. One attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go higher. Oh, I think that short's not that bad, actually. But it's a bit sideways, so I'm just sitting tight. But I think that'll probably work, but I'm staying out of it. Because when it is sideways, it's got an habit of trapping you and stopping you out. There's a bit of a double trap there. Longs are in there and shorts. So will this take the shorts out quite lightly? Or have we had 1-2 bounces and we're back up? It's hard to say at the moment. So that bar there got stopped out. Let's see what happens now. So leg down. Are we going to push up or are we going to trap them longs? That's what we can do at the moment. Or is this a second entry short? It's hard to say. Trouble is, if this is a channel, we're actually working sideways, so I actually kind of like that. Second entry short there. We are bouncing off this. Or I've got trapped. Fancy boy. I like that. Clearly bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Second entry short. Going to be some longs there for sure, isn't there? Leg down, sideways. Come on, break below here. If we break below here and get below there, I'll be all right. Come on. Need to get below there. Sometimes you got to set and forget, haven't you? I hate the way it's struggling. I'm really shocked, actually. I thought that was an absolute beauty. Second entry short. I thought that was going to rock it down. Yeah, it's coming for my stop for sure. Much luck lately, am I? Come on. Now, do I get out of it or what? That's rejection off there, surely, isn't it? Surely this is rejection. Surely it is. We made one attempt higher, second attempt to go. This has got to come down. I'm getting out of it. No, I'm staying in it. Just leave it. I've taken the thing. It's pushed up. It hasn't touched me. Stop. This thing's coming down for sure. It's really trying to get up, isn't it?
Order filled.
Okay. Sometimes you just got to trust your gut, haven't you? It's two still open there. Let me just shut this down. Okay. Disconnect. Everything else is shut and rhythmic. Connections. Rhythmic. Yeah. That second entry short did work. The fact that it came back is okay. It didn't take the stop out, so the position's still good. And then when that came down again, you've just got to leave it, haven't you? Let's see. If a trader can't manage 100 accounts, they won't manage 100,000 either. Fastest way to go out of business is run out of real funds. Yeah. Everything on this is saying it's coming down, isn't it? Leg down. We clearly went 1, 2, 3 attempts higher. So I really like that. 4 points as well. So we pushed down. We went 1, 2, 3. There was a second entry short there, which triggered, came back a bit, but it still came down. So I like that trade. I did. So sometimes when you lose your nerve, I kind of think just leave things. So it was a second entry short. Second entry short, 4 points. Plus 4 points. When it got below there, it was going to come down. So we had a little sideways, and then we had a breakout that failed, and it just made another attempt, didn't it? Set and forget. Yeah, that's why I ummed and ahed about taking it, but I thought if it does break below there, it's going to come below there for sure. So when it had that first push, I just thought, get out. I got out for 4 points, which... clearly was a second entry short. Clearly was a second entry short. Perfect. Yeah, it's working nice. I think it's okay. It's just one of those ones that spooks you a bit. Sometimes they do. And when it came back up there, but I see Mac marking these all the time, and he takes a trade here and it comes back, but it doesn't break below. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes they just spook you a bit, don't they? Awesome job staying in the trade. Yeah, sometimes they do mess around a little bit, don't they? But, you know, it is clearly a second entry short. It's actually not a bad trade at all either, really. Now I even have time to look at it. Yeah, it's a little bit sideways, but we've had a failed breakout. We've come to this and we've confirmed that's the top and had a strong push back. And then we have 2 attempts to go higher, second entry short. It came down. It did have another go, but if it's a strong enough position, it'll hold and then eventually, that was my thoughts. Once it gets below that bar there, it's going to push down, and obviously there's liquidity there. But the trouble is, if it pushes down here and doesn't get to that, it may come back a bit first, and I kind of want to just get out in that first push. But sometimes I tend to... let's have a look. Yeah, someone else has seen that as well. Someone else has put that there. Well, they haven't put the line down there, but they put the... same thing, channel down, 2 attempts higher. But it is, isn't it? Leg down, 1 attempt higher, second attempt to go higher, second entry short. So yeah, it's all right that. The larger points are better as well. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yes. See, when we hit it that first time, what I kind of like is we have a strong push up there, we trigger it and come down, we come back and drop again. So that confirms that trend line. And then when we push above the trend line and then come down, it is a second entry short. So I've got a little bit of slippage here again. I got an extra tick on one. Oh, that's nice. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra ticks there. You're out, are you? When you say you're out, you mean you're out of the trade, or you're off for the day? Yeah, it did work nice actually, doesn't it? Sometimes though, see, I heard Max say once you can trade congestion as long as you can read it, and it kind of is sideways. But this is a bit. But then we have the break, and then that's the most congested part. Then we have the break. We come back and we have 2 attempts again, and there. So this bit isn't really congested as such. It's going up and coming down, but it looks more because of this and because I've got the you're off for the day later. Yeah, you take it easy, bud. That's interesting. So we got another strong push down there. You may say there's a very small break there, but I don't think there is. Mind you, Thomas Wade's got it as a small break. So I think it's negligible, really. And we're actually touching here still. We don't need it, I don't think. So that's all right with me. But it is only a first entry. Second entry there wouldn't be a bad idea, though. Yeah, Thomas has said would consider a second entry short. No, he doesn't, bud. He just puts his chart on here. This is his Discord, but he puts his chart on there, so you can see he's got it as a small break there, and he said would consider a second entry short. So he's actually changed it now so it fits. It's negligible, to be honest with you. There is a second entry short there. It's pushed out and come back strong. So I don't think that's a bad trade, but I'm not taking it. Because if that closes bearish, it's 14 ticks away from the top. Unless we stop here and get a break above it, then I may. Is there anything it could bounce off or anything? Not really. You have to pay for it, bud. It's $105 per 3 months. If you go onto his website, you can join there. But there are a bunch of videos. I haven't looked at the videos so much because I think most of them are probably similar to teaching the same sort of thing. But I like to see other people's charts. Say Marco put his chart on here occasionally, and Thomas's as well, because you guys have got my chart, so you can you've got a second opinion, haven't you? I sort of kind of haven't at the moment, so I like to use it for a second opinion. So if you go onto his website, if you don't know his website, I'll show you quickly. Andre Alpine's doing lately. He's been crucified yesterday, didn't he? Yeah. Thomas there. Okay, so there's his website there. It's just Thomas Wade, I think it is, or Wade Trading. But if you click there, and then you can sort of go into it there and join there. Yeah, I do as well. I think he's a good trader. So, leg and a leg. Same again, we're up bouncing off this midline. Strange that, isn't it? It fits absolutely beautifully there. Beautifully. And the bottom. So it's just making an effort. Same again, it's getting up to that midline. It got up to the midline there, came down. And it's definitely testing that midline. So that midline's definitely playing a part. 2 legs up. You get a lower high here below that EMA. I don't think it's a bad trade there. There's a second entry short there. Now, I don't think that's a bad trade, but I'm staying out of it. I always like to wait on the higher low just to check I'm thinking in the right direction, but I think that's probably going to work. It worked. It's already worked on that one there. So it's clearly 2 attempts to go higher. If you get a lower high, I think that's a must. I don't even think it'll give us one. I think it's that a good place to sell. I don't even know whether it will give us one or not. It may do. Second entry short, that would be the lower high. Let's see what happens. There is a lower high there. Still need a new low on that downtrend. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see whether this comes down. I'm going to get a sell order
Order
just to
submitted.
see. This is interesting. I don't think that's going to break low, is it? Maybe it will.
Order submitted.
Something you've got to take, I think. The fact that it does that puts the frightens the living shit out of you, but it's just one of those things. Got to do it. I'm going to give it an extra tick.
Order filled.
Strange. Quite a few people took it Thomas way. Went, wow, someone got me. I'm really surprised. The only thing I can think of is a small break, but we haven't made a new low, so I'm really surprised. I'm really shocked that didn't work. 2 perfect legs up. That's a shame. I was up lovely then. Now I'm more or less even. Oh well. Loads of people got stuck there. 2 perfect legs up, lovely lower high, finished on its low. Yeah, that's anything I can say, but after this, 2 attempts to go over and a lower high, I thought that was an absolute beauty. Loads of people, perfect setup. You got to risk it. I got smoked by, wow. Thomas Way everyone got stuffed on that one. You took it, yeah. I thought it was an absolute beauty. I did. Well, he won't actually because it's Friday, isn't it? I got screwed. I didn't get filled. Got me. Brutal week. Wow, that's ass. Ouch. Got me. Thomas Way got loads of people took that and got stuffed. Wow. I'm really surprised. 2 nice legs up. Strong push below the EMA. Lower high. Mind you, I mentioned something a couple of weeks ago about lower highs when they move over 1 bar. I've been stuck a few times there. When it more or less moves over sideways. I don't know if you remember me mentioning about it, a lower high. I got stuck in it a few times. One of them things, isn't it? See, sometimes I think, just stick with a 1, but then a lot of times I miss other trades. So I think sometimes if you see a trade, you've just got to go with it. I don't like giving away profit. I did the other day, but it's just one of those things. Now, someone has just put that on there. Right, okay. So that might be why there's a bigger channel working up there. I think it's very shallow. But But that might be why. So we've had 2 legs down. That might be why. So I wonder if that's the fact that there is a bigger channel. Touch, 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 touch. And at the top as well. It just doesn't, it looks a bit shallow for me, but it does work. So that's just one of those things, isn't it? Oh, Taylor took it and lost as well. I think everyone did. So what did I lose there? 2 points, I think. Sorry, 4 points was it, I think. What was I up? I was up around about 200. It's a bit above and a bit below. So yeah, I think it's 4.25, isn't it? 4.25 points. Hi. Trouble is, if it worked, I'll be up a nice $400 for the day on my account, so that'd be beautiful. But it's just one of those things. Sometimes you just got to take them. Yeah, someone's put the only reason I can find is because the bigger channel. It's the only way I can see it. It actually fits perfectly. That's the only reason why, I think. I mean, you could say it's had a small break. Well, if that's the case, we'd normally make a new low, and we didn't. It's just one of those things, isn't it? Some you win, some you lose. Nothing's 100%. No. All three, someone's put all 3 of my losses have been higher lows, lower highs. There's some times where I've lost trades like that, where it does that. It just goes down, moves over. I mentioned it a week or 2 ago. It's got me a few times, so I'm just going to have to be aware of that in future. Maybe just give it a second to see what it's going to do. I think it really matters that there just at the moment anyway. Yeah, I might do that in future. Just take the one. If I get one, just knock on the edge. That's twice now this week that I've won a trade and lost it. So I'd have been up $200 or $200 now, and about 100 and what was the other one? 165 or something. A lot. I can't remember. It happens, but you get better at sorting something out. Yeah, I might have a one and done for now, actually. Can I take a trade yet? Will it let me or not? No. Disconnect. I have that 10-minute thing, did I? I lost that trade as well. Looked good, but I've noticed that when you get a big juicy bear bar like that and a lower high doesn't close below the bear bar, it's a trap. Yeah, I kind of get you there. Perhaps I'll remember it now. It's something like that's got me a few times. Trying to clarify in my head exactly what it is. Okay. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll just be a quick second. Okay. See, when you got the failure there as well, you think that's going to come down, take out that, don't you? But it just goes to show, perhaps the only thing I can think is there is this. It does look like it may be in a bigger channel there. So if we go back, is there anything that could link up to that? Actually, yeah. Are we close there? We're absolutely bang on. So I wonder if it is anything to do with that. We do seem to be working up there. It's hard to say, really, isn't it? Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. So that is an overshoot, I would suggest. And we're up to these highs. There may be something like that. That's hard to say, really, isn't it? Have we got a measured leg there? No, not yet. The last hour's having that's a stream open in Chrome before starting automatically started. Just a page. I'm not sure there. Not sure there. Uh, hmm. If it is a channel, where is it likely to turn? At the top. Mm. I was looking at that there. It was quite a small risk, only 8 ticks, which is about as small as we've got at the moment. I was very tempted. I just don't want to go long at the moment because it's hard to know what the bloody hell's going on. There is a failure there after an overshoot. Hmm. I don't know what to do here. I mean, we've had a break and a new high there. Leg and a leg. Bearish bar there. See if we get a lower high right off here. I don't want to just take that one. That for me would be a bit of a punt. Do you know what? I think he's right, actually. Taylor's got just that. I think he's right. Look at that right off there as well. I think there was an overshoot off a smaller channel there. Mixed feelings here. Channel break. 2 pushes up to a new high. Yeah, I'm not sure of that. Maybe it is. I prefer that, I do. Right at the top of this again, so we've had a channel with a break, 2 pushes up, or break, 2 pushes up. Big bearish bar there. It's very tempted to take that. Just going to remove that for now. Second entry long there, but I'm hoping for the failure. Even though I wanted to go low here, I can't take it. It's congested, this shit. You have to be aware there may be an overshoot. Second entry short there. Second entry short. No. No, there's nothing you can do here, really. It's just congested to hell. Leg down. Could get another leg down. Just thinking this is likely going to trap longs. You could say 1, 2, 3. This is a triple test.
Order submitted.
See how it finishes. 1, 2, 3. Second entry short. Longs trapped. Longs trapped. Could be a failure there. So I'm just sitting tight.
Order cancelled.
If it gets below there, I'd say it's coming down, but trigger stop you out. How far is it going to come down? I'd want 4 points off that, which I think you may get or not. Get down here to below there. I think if it gets to there, it will. See if we have a breakout pullback.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Leg and a leg. See if we can break out, pull back, traps and shorts here. Longs rather.
Order submitted.
Come on, break above that. I mean, it could go up. Depends how you're looking at it.
Order
I have
cancelled.
to sit out this. I think I might be thinking the wrong way here. Leg down, possible high or low. Depends how you got this chart, that's the trouble. So 1, 2, 3. If we can break above here, then we may come down because there'll be stops and stops there. So breakout, pull back. Let's call that one attempt, push higher. Second attempt, let's see if we get a third attempt. Second entry short. Like to trap that bull bar because there'll be some bulls trapped there and that one as well. Push up. 1, 2, 3. 3 attempts to go higher. Trapping some longs and then down like a shot. That's the plan. Higher low there on that chart. Let's see if we trigger it. I'm going to get an order ready just in case.
Order submitted.
Okay, that's broke above it. See where that goes.
Order submitted.
That's pretty bearish, isn't it? That's a massive bar, that is. Come on, drop.
Order filled.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Finally. There's going to be some longs trapped in there, so if it got below there, thank God for that. Finally back up a bit. See, if you look at this, what I like about this is 10,000 tick chart. We've got a lovely channel out there with a break and a new high and a big bearish bar. So for me, that's played out, and that is trapping any longs. It's got to come back to the EMA for sure, isn't it? God for that. I needed it. So I would say triple test, second entry short. For me, that is the channel. What did I get out of it? Two, 2, 5, 3 to 3 points. Beautiful. 3 points. Plus points. Yeah, I did. This one looked the better chart, mate, for sure. You can see what's going on with channels at a break, 3 pushes up to a new high, big drop. I would say we've had 1, 2, 3 attempts to push higher. There's a second entry short there, which I loved. Longs are in there. And if you look on this, there'll be some longs in there, and here as well, longs in there, thinking 2 legs back, this is going to push up. So for me, that was coming down. Yeah, I thought it was okay, to be honest with you. Granted, it is congested, agreed, but this looks worse. This looks clearer. We've had 2 legs down, and you're for sure going to trap longs in there thinking of going higher. And we've pushed up once, we've pushed up again, we've pushed up a third time, trapped the longs, and when that finished low, that was coming down and eating up that stop. So it was definitely going to come down below there for me. Maybe another something set up. Yeah, I think it's not one of the easiest trades to set up trades. You've got to be a bit savvy, I think. But I see this a lot, and as your experience grows, you'll notice things. But for me, that some people I can see on Thomas Wade's have put a bigger channel there. For me, that green channel is fitting perfectly. Then we've had a break and a push up, and look at that massive big bearish bar. For me, that's coming down to at least the EMA. It's played out. There's 2 legs up, break, new high, big bearish bar. So that's telling me this channel is okay. We've sort of had this. We've had a couple of attempts to go high, and we've dropped and we've bounced off here. And that's working nice there. So we've got a break, a few pushes up to a new high. And not only that, we're at these highs as well. So there's a bigger picture there. However you want to look at it, a leg up and a leg up. So we've got a measured move that's played out there, right to the nearest tick. So leg and a leg, short channel break, new high, downside was down. We do that a lot. It's like a bear flag, isn't it? A upside down bear flag, or the right way up bear flag, however you want to take it, down, sideways. But you can get chopped up in it if you're not careful. But that's much clearer. 1, 2, 3, and a big bearish bar, trapping any longs. There was a long there you might have had a go. That one there again, but on this chart, it's strong. It's looking nice. There's going to be some traders in there for sure. So I kind of like having the mixture of the charts to look at, the mixture of the different charts. So at least I'm back up a little bit now, and I assure you, I will end up green today. Wow, someone's taken that higher low. That's a mistake. For me, this is coming down. This is second entry short there. That's going to trap some longs for sure. God, I'm so tempted to take that on the engulfing, but I'm going to leave it because I'm up. But I think that's going to take out some, stopped out, yeah. Not sure you. It's too risky for me, that. But I think if you're going to take that on the engulf, it might not be a bad place, but it's 20 ticks, that. Oh, someone took that. Actually looked better on its chart. It looked better than that chart as well, actually. And that one. Yeah, this thing's... Oh, do you know what? I didn't even look at this. I'd have probably taken that. Second entry short, and it would have worked. because this thing is coming down for sure, isn't it? Oh, well, I don't mind. I wasn't focusing. I had my head sort of still in the last trade. So second entry short, that was nice. You can't deny that. That looked lovely there. It looked even nicer. Someone took it. It looked nice on his chart as well. Clearly confirming that. Second entry short, that's an absolute beauty, that is, I think. Anybody take that? That short was much easier. Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, I still like that one. It did work. It's second entry short, and it worked beautifully because I think you can tell a good trade when it comes down, because if you get enough sellers in there, it will push down, and it did, and it ate out that stop there. And maybe even there as well. So he took it on a sim. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Yeah, I was mainly focusing on this, and that bar looked a bit bigger, but if I'd have looked here, that was much better. Much better than that. I prefer it when it pushes up and then comes down. Takes a little bit more selling pressure to do that when it pushes up. Whereas this one here, it just crossed over, went up a bit, and then came down. So shame that. If I'd have seen that like I'd have taken it. I don't think though, as much as you do, if congestion just stay. Yeah, your reason definitely makes sense. Yeah, it's. I heard Max say once, you can trade congestion as long as you can read it. And sometimes it is. I mean, if you look at this, Caleb, this looks naff, doesn't it? The main chart, you can't trade that. But this does look more clearer. 2 legs down. This is more, it's more broken up, isn't it? This, it just doesn't really make any sense, does it? But this is sort of clearer. There is a second entry short there, which did work. And a second entry short. Are we looking at the right one? Yeah, we are. It is a second entry short, and it's a kind of a triple test, and you know there's going to be longs trapped in there. So, do you know, we always get these ones that require a bit of a topic for conversation on a bloody Friday when Mac doesn't mark his chart up. So, you can't go short now because it's bottoming off. It's definitely played a part, that open today, isn't it? You can see it there, you can see it there, you can see it here and here. Yeah, so that looked like a really nice trade on there. It's a shame I wasn't looking at that at the time because I'd have jumped straight into that. Oh, that was an absolute beauty. It's confirming this. 2, we're right at the bottom. We have a push up, a little bit of a break and a bearish bar. And same there, pretty good as well, confirming the channel down. But that's fine. It's okay. That's trading sometimes. Sometimes, you know, if that trade I took earlier, if that would have worked, if that would have started coming down, I'd have took my profit there. I could have had a nice $600 day times 10. I could have done. But if you think it's a trade, if you think it's a setup, you have to take it. Because you're going to miss a lot of trades by umming and ahhing. Sometimes I think, I don't know if I want to. Kind of nervous and a bit scared to take a trade. But if you think it's a good trade, you have to take. You've got to take it because you're going to win way more than you lose, and it's going to up your money. But that's fine. I'm up a bit today. I'm up sort of $2,300 over all of them. So, and that's okay. You know, you live and learn. But what I will say is I've seen that before. So next time we see one of those, remind me I mentioned it. We go down, we go across, and there's a bearish bar. I'd say a couple of times in the last 3 or 4 months, I've been caught out on something very similar. So if you can, guys, remember me talking about that, next time I mention it again, let's call it something. So it's a down and a cross lower high. See if anyone remembers that. A down and a cross lower high. Where we sort of flatten out, don't we? Down, across, yeah, down and across lower high. Because I've been caught out, because I don't mind getting caught out, but as long as I learn something. Do you trade 250 account before the market opens? I did, yeah. What I wanted to do is I see trades all the time that I think, oh, I love that one. But it goes against Pat's, so I leave it. And a lot of the times is I see traps where I think people are going to be trapped. And I say this to myself a lot. If I took that long, you know, sometimes I saw there's a second entry short there, but that looks like a trap to me. And a lot of times it is. Because the way I see it is, there's another one there, but I think that is risky because it's always risky when it flattens off there. See it flattening? Sometimes it'll trigger and stop you out. So I see these trades a lot and go, oh, if I took that, I'd expect to be stopped out. So I wanted to do something that I feel is right. See what I mean about that? Look at that. It's flattening off. We've come off the tops. We came off the top here, came to the bottom, came off the top, came to the bottom, came off the top, couldn't get through this area here. So there's some support here. So I expected that one to get stopped out. Whether it will or not, I don't know, but I think it will. I have a special account. I need to trade pre-market with Asian too. Yeah, I think it's okay to separate account to try something different if there's something on your mind, as long as you've got plenty of accounts, and if you do lose it, it's not going to cause you no great hardship. But the things I liked about these earlier trades, so we got for me, we're going sideways here, so we got a breakout here, and often when we get one at the top, we get one at the bottom. And what I like about that is we had a channel here, so ordinarily you'd be looking for shorts here, but not if the channel intercepts with the bottom of a range. So this pushed up and bounced a couple of times. I had it here initially, there, and it bounced a few times there, the same as that. So that's how I initially had it. So it's a breakout which fails and pushes up strong. And I'll tell you something now, second entry short there, thinking, oh, we're going to trap some longs here. Now, the reason I wouldn't take that is because that, although it looks close, for me is a million miles away from that EMA. So if I took a short there, I would expect to get triggered and stopped out with another leg. So I took the opposite. I took the opposite way. Now, it didn't look fantastic on there, but on this one, it looked much better. Where was it? There. On this one, that was the bar there, and that looked better. So we had two strong bull bars there, push up, pull back. So it was a failed second entry short. And I just marked it on here so you could see it really, but it is a second entry long. It's a failed second entry short, and you're going to trap traders like that. One, it's congested. So if you're looking at that to go short, why wouldn't you take it? You would go, it's congested and it's too far from the EMA. So what's going to happen? Chances are it's going to trigger and stop out. So I decided to wait for that to close. I actually put it above there, put my stop my profit one tick above there, and it went straight up, worked perfectly. And the same with that one as well, with the channel up, but this is looking rangy. It's flattening off there and it pulls in, pushes strong below the EMA, so this for me is coming down. Another push strong. But there's two perfect measured legs there in a bullish bar, and that triggered and came back. So for me, I would be thinking, if I take that, what would I expect? And I would say I'd expect it to be stopped out. So I same again, I put my tick profit one tick below there, because when it breaks there, it has that tiny little push, and it did. It came straight down. So I'm just trying some different things. The traps that, because there's so many different ways to trade, and the more you sit and watch these charts day in day out, the more you start to notice stuff. So sorry if I'm rabbiting on a bit today, but you know, as you spend more and more time sat in front of these charts, you do notice things, and when you see something happening 8 or 9 times out of 10, at some point you're going to go, maybe I should have a go at it. So you see that lower high there's just got stopped out. Top, bottom, top only got so far down, and we're flattening off there. So I have a piece of paper next to my desk that says taking a trade, look left. And I'm looking at all the support there. So a trade like that is just going to lightly come down to here and turn and stop you out. And You just learn things like this from just losing trades again and again and again. But it's been a bit of it's a shame about that, really. But remind me about that. What did we call it? Down and across, lower high. Wherever we do this and we go straight over, I'd say this is the third time now I've been caught out by that. So I'm going to have to mention that again and again until it hurts so much. You went, absolutely, mate, absolutely. And that's how it works. You know, we know if we go down the gym and start lifting weights or start eating salads and lean meats, and you're going to lose weight and you'll start to put muscles on. But in your brain, you can't really see the changes. You just have to sort of believe that they're coming. But when you guys look back at some of my videos a year ago, and I was all over the place. I was jumping in random. I was taking 6 or 8 trades a day. I'd say it was probably 50% luck, 50% skill. I was all over the place. My emotions were all over the place. Every time I finished the stream, but look at the difference. I'm a lot calmer. I can take losses. And it's slow progression. Leg and a leg. There's a break there, but I'm staying out now. I do like the one and done thing. If I can do 3 winning trades a week, or even 2, that is plenty of money. You've been there and done that. Absolutely, that's how it works, though, isn't it? Once you've done it so much, that's why we hear Mac talking about this. It's a real skill, and it is. You know, it's kind of like, I mean, driving's a little bit simpler, but you know, years and years on the road, you start to notice things. You start to notice when people are likely to pull out on you just by the dumb look on their face, and you know, you do build up stuff. You know, I drove for years, and somebody pulls out on you, everything's automatic. It happens in a split. You don't even have to think about it. It's obviously a lot simplified version of it, but it is experience. Again, like Max says, chart time. It's exactly what it is. The more time you're in front of these charts, the more you notice things, the more you get trapped. But what I would say to some of you newer guys, when you have a bad day, walk away and analyze it and think about it and try and get a positive lesson from it. Like that loss I had the other day, I had 2 trades in a row. The second one I jumped in before the bar closed. Now, I know not to do that, but sometimes those emotions and you're a little bit hyped up, and it's very easy just to sort of lose that control for a second. But you do gain more and more control over your emotions as the months and the years go by. I have time to think now. Where I used to think scalping is so quick, I'd have time to think, but I kind of feel like I have got a couple of seconds to think now. A lot of times it'll come back before it continues on. So, you know, but there you go. I'm not going to bore you anymore. Sorry if I've rabbited on a bit today. Couple of legs up and there's a lower high there. I kind of think that will probably work, but I'm staying out of this at the moment. I would have a go in one of my bigger account, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep control today in my other account. So 3 days, $3,000. I'm trading 3 to 4 contracts, and I'm trying to go for a little bit more points because of that ATR. So I traded 3 contracts on both of those, but 4 and 4.25 points aren't a massive amount to go for at the moment, with that ATR being quite high. So there you go, folks. I'm done for the day. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. Failing that, have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday and do it all again. So have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we will do it all again on Monday. Bye for now.